Hello and welcome to day 9 of the team tournament. Today I'm up against leross, who I'm not too familiar with. I don't recall ever seeing him. But let's get into the collection match. You can see right away he's not going for the mid resource, so my bots are going to secure the mid resource, but they're not going to invest a whole lot in contesting it. Most of my bots are going for points immediately, or resources immediately. And you can see his collection team is a pair of assaults rather than an assault and a sniper, rather than an assault and a shotgun, which is going to give me more mobility in general. And you can see my machine gun is trying to shuffle some resources to put them in a more advantageous position. And you can also see I've straightened out a few of the problems with my collection, where some of my bots were just ignoring resources that were close by. And it has some issues I still need to work out a little bit, but for the most part I think it's a lot better. It let me secure the extra resources that were adjacent to my base much more quickly. And my sniper's trying to fight, but my machine gun hasn't gotten involved yet, and so the fight is generally going not in my favor a whole lot. But that's alright, because I'm carrying one resource. I've got one resource next to my base. He's carrying one resource. That's going to put us at 5-5 as soon as we capture what we have already. And I'm in much better position to capture the 6th and game-winning resource. And you can see his machine gun is more than willing to move into close range, or to a medium range, which is probably fine. But with my machine gun now fighting and my sniper acting as a deterrent and my assault getting involved, they are not going to be able to prevent me from scoring the game-winning point. So, good game, leross. So now we have the domination match, and you can see it's a 3-base match. The force fields aren't too conveniently placed, and I don't really like the triangular base arrangement, but I'm hoping I've got strong enough combat to win, because basically this is just going to be a bloodbath somewhere along the middle here. And immediately you can see his shotguns are going for the base farthest away from where he started, which isn't a terrible plan, but in this case all it did is put them in close range with several of my bots, which isn't great for the health of the shotguns, even though they are fairly durable. And he's trying to take this base here. His sniper is going to kill this machine gun. My machine guns don't worry, or my bots in domination don't worry too much about staying alive. They mostly just worry about dragging out the process of killing them, which the sniper is completely unaffected by it, but it does essentially force them to prioritize staying on a base as opposed to running away, and I think that's generally more valuable. But the machine gun, you can see that the 2 shotguns were able to pretty easily hold this base, and now the machine gun is sitting on it. The shotguns are trying to engage the machine gun, or trying to engage his sniper, but not having a great time of it. Meanwhile, his machine gun was trying to push this bottom base and making no progress whatsoever. And now my bots want to relocate up to this top base, because essentially the shotguns kept him busy for so long on the bottom that the bots are always looking for a fight, and they want to fight around a base. But there was no fight left on the bottom left base, so they moved to this top base in order to engage something. And now they're kind of indecisive about where they want to be, because he's only got the 2 shotguns applying much pressure up here, and so they'll kill both of the shotguns, and then that will trigger their mechanism to advance to the next base. But the entire enemy team is sitting on this one base, and that's not going to make it easier. I do think it's odd that he picked 2 machine guns, 2 shotguns, 1 sniper, and 1 assault. I would have, obviously I would have chosen 2 snipers instead of the 1 assault, 1 sniper. You can tell that on account of the fact that I have 2 snipers. But I'm curious why he actually has the assault. As I've said before, assaults are really well-rounded bots, but in domination, really well-rounded doesn't offer as much value. The speed of the shotguns is invaluable for contesting bases all over the map, especially when there are 5 or 6 bases. Having the shotguns is very useful. And the machine guns have more staying power than any other bot, so parking them on a base and letting them sit there is more valuable than having an assault do the same, because the machine gun's just better at it. And the snipers are better at sitting on a base or in a force field and just continually applying pressure forever. So I'm curious why the assault's there. For all I know, he just accidentally left it as an assault while configuring it. Or maybe it was on purpose, I'm not really sure. But either way, I've built up a pretty sizable lead. I'm up 35 points with a minute 25 on the clock at the time. So I'm feeling like this one is going to be pretty solidly mine. Normally leading my bases is a poor choice, but he didn't have anyone on his base when I was doing it, and I'm currently neutralizing the base. Didn't quite get there, but now it's going to take a while to restore before it starts scoring again. So I'm gonna call that a tactical win, even if it was not a great decision. This one's kind of weird because it's a 3-base map, but the bases are all unusually far apart. Normally the bases are close enough that firing arcs overlap. If you look at his sniper's range, for instance, he can be on this red base and not able to hit the blue bases. And that's kind of what's tripping my bots up. And I don't know that I want to change that behavior a whole lot. I do know some of the higher tier players would tell you to just capture 2 bases and then put every bot on a base, which is a sound strategy in and of itself. But I like total wins over technical wins. So if I'm winning the combat so hard that I run out of things to fight, I want to move forward and fight more. That way I can try and 3-cap, because 3-capping an opponent that's actually fighting back is, to me, the perfect win. But there it is. That's domination and that's the series, but we still get to watch elimination. Hello and welcome to the elimination match. You can see here composition is a little bit more important in my opinion in elimination than some of the other modes, and here he's going for the same composition I am. 2 machine guns, 2 snipers, and 4 assaults. But his positioning is very different. I've got all of my assaults on one side and all of my heavier bots on the other, whereas his heavy bots generally are toward the middle. And I'm not entirely sure how that's going to shake out, but right off the bat you can see I'm trying to collapse toward the middle, whereas he's trying to just move toward the nearest bot to him, which moving to the nearest bot isn't the worst choice, especially since it can allow you to take advantage of imbalanced spawns. So sometimes it'll spawn 2 enemies on one side and 1 ally over there, and that 1 ally is usually just written off. But his assault, he had an assault and a machine gun basically die in the same spot down here. The machine gun wanted to walk into medium range, which a lot of times isn't the worst choice to do, although with a machine gun it's kind of a dicey move because machine guns are really durable, but they're also very slow. So if they do get into hot water and get focused, they don't move away as quickly, and you can see I'm keeping his snipers and his machine gun in the middle on the back pedal, while my assaults up top, where it was 2 assaults versus 2 assaults, I am winning that duel as well. He keeps trying, he wants to close into medium range, which is a solid choice, but if you're trying to close into medium range and your opponent is comfortable fighting at long range, generally speaking, closing into medium loses the engagement if your opponent is competent. And that's more or less what we're seeing here. My bots are spending a lot of time shooting, his bots are spending a lot of time moving, and as a result I put his bots on the back pedal, and then this happens where his bots are all on the verge of defeat and all they really can do is back up. Nonetheless though, it was a good show, and even if the elimination match was very one-sided, the other matches were pretty close. The collection match, I think if you put some more pressure on the middle in the collection match, it might have gone very different, because despite having more bots manipulating resources, he was able to keep up. But nonetheless, good games, leross, and I thank you for watching, and have a good one.